My name is Barlička. I come from Prešov, which is in eastern Slovakia, and I'm a program director of Barlička, which is a non-profit organization working with children with disability and young people with disability, and then also supporting seniors. Barlička was started in 1999 officially, and it was they just formalized the meeting of the parents of people with disability, and this idea just kept growing as the children were growing. And now we have a day center where young people with disability can come in the morning, spend the day so their parents can work, and we added employment to that. So half of these young people with disability are already employed by us in the workshops. And then we also started with the Early Intervention Center to somehow trying to bring the experience of these 15 years growing up with the child with disability to the new generation of parents. The day center, that's our original motive. That's what was driving the idea in the beginning, because the worry of the parents was what they will do once they finish elementary school. Will they be just sitting at home and so long? That was somehow coupled with the need of the parents to be able to work. So what we did is that we started the center, which is open 6 a.m. till 5 p.m. and they have their day filled 4 or 8 hours. And generally in the morning they start in the workshop just with something easier, something which is manual. Then they go through the cognitive activities to keep their skills somehow fit, what they learn in school, not to forget everything. And during the day, they have physiotherapy, because sitting on the wheelchair gets your muscles stiff, or if you have some kind of even mental disability, but you are not moving that much. So to prevent all these problems, we do invest substantially into physiotherapy, so they would be able to keep themselves fit. And not to have these 40, 50 years old people problems when they are only 25 or 30. In 2010, we also started to support the seniors, first believing that it will be for the parents of children with disability, and then somehow realizing that we find a good spot, and we now have normal senior home, which was running on itself till 2014. And in that moment we realized that we are able to employ people with disability in support services of the senior home. So now they help with preparing the food, they help with cleaning the building, they help with laundry, and they also helped in the cafe. We started with cafeteria in 2015, I guess, and the idea was to have a nice place for our senior home to just be invited by your daughter or son. Mom, let's just go for a coffee. And this evolved to the point where we employ 4 people with disability in the cafe, and usually they would come around 12. They serve the coffee, they bake small cookies, and what I think the main thing is to have a nice place within the senior home to be able to somehow get out. And for our people with disability, this is a good thing for interaction purposes. And then the last idea, and what's happening especially in the summer when our playground is full of children, then the moms are coming. And then they are able to talk to our youngsters, and then also these young families are able to see that they are part of the community as we are, and that's something what we are trying to do on the kind of higher level, that we are trying to support the inclusion mindset, that people with disability are here. with the center being in this stage that we have daycare and we have workshops and we have employed, we're kind of thinking what's next. And we realized that our young people with disability are getting older, so are their parents. And we were starting to think about the next chapter of their life. We found out that there is nothing. There is a state institution with all its negatives and everything what's there, and but there is no way how to transit into some kind of supported independence or something which you could do on your own, or at least have a choice to try, to train, and maybe even then decide to go to the state institution, but having this idea that it's my choice to be here, it's not something what I have to do. And we started to think that having a training flat, having a supported living could be the answer. For some people, permanent answer, that they would just live there for a longer time, maybe till their situation will not change. And for many people, just a kind of a taste, how is it to live by your own? Within this status, now we bought our first flat. It's a big flat, so we are now changing it, renovating it from scratch. And what we are trying to do is that we will have 3 separate rooms for 3 or 4 people. So that's the whole idea of the training flat, of the independent living, to provide the option of freedom for people with disability. Many people or families, for example, have some flats, or they have a house and they could transform it into 2 flats. We want to be part of community, not to be those people with disability, but to have names, to have connections, to be the neighbor who you really wish for, nice people who will help if needed, and in this way somehow changing the region towards being more inclusive, towards having these discussions that, well, I was afraid, but now I can see that there are really nice people. It's good that we have them here.
Ha 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 ha!